Bird Box. Today we're talking about Beast of Reincarnation, and this is an everything we know so far video, what's confirmed, what's still unknown, and why this game is already on my watch list. And that's purely because it's a game being made by Game Freak, the Pokémon studio, and it looks like they're swinging for something way different this time. All right, quick facts so we're all on the same page. Beast of Reincarnation is targeting summer 2026. Yes, this year. It's confirmed for Xbox Series X and S, Xbox on PC, and Xbox Cloud. And it's a day one on Game Pass Ultimate. It's also called Xbox Play Anywhere, and they've called it handheld optimized on the Xbox side. And outside of Xbox, it's also listed for PS5 and PC on Steam. So basically, it's not locked to one platform, and Game Pass people can play it day one. Now, here's the best part that still feels really wild, that this is Game Freak. Most people know them for Pokemon, so when they show up with a darker, more technical action RPG, it immediately grabs attention. They also said they've been planning this for about 6 years, so this isn't some quick side project. It sounds like a real long-term investment, and it's being published by Fiction. So the question is, can Game Freak deliver something that feels polished at this scale outside of their usual lane? Honestly, just off what they've seen and what has been described, I'm super optimistic. The game is set in Japan in the year 4026. The world has basically been wrecked by this corruption called blight, and it's not just a background lore. Blight is the reason the world is hostile, and it's tied directly into the characters and the gameplay. You play as Emma. She was born afflicted by blight, and it gave her the power to manipulate plants. But the story description makes her sound like she's not just an outcast. She's literally described as being void of memory and emotion, and people fear her, so she's living alone in total isolation. Then there's Ku, the dog companion. Ku is what they call a malefact, basically one of the dangerous creatures in this world. And Emma is a sealer, meaning her role is hunting malefacts and absorbing their blight into her body. So yeah, their partnership is kind of insane on paper, but their existence are supposed to be incompatible. But they meet in the east, and their journey takes them to the west to confront the Beast of Reincarnation, which is described as the source of all blight. And then there's the line that instantly makes this feel like it has a bigger mystery. Never look up at the sky. They say there's an ancient legend warning that something is floating up there, and basically for your own sake, do not look up at the sky. That's not normally a world building statement to make. That's a threat, and I'm really curious what the payoff is for that. Now, the world side of this is interesting because it sounds like the blight actively changes the environment. They describe the influence of blight causing the landscape to shift abruptly, turning areas into dense, overgrown, blighted forests. And those forests are generated by giant malefacts called Nushi. The loop they're describing is basically you fight your way through these forests, take down the Nushi, absorb their power, and acquire new skills. So progression is tied to beating big threats, not grabbing random loot. Also, one important detail from the interviews, this doesn't sound like a full open world. The director has described it more like one long wide path broken up into district levels, like a road trip across different environments. Personally, I like that if it means the game is more focused. I'll take curated areas with strong pacing over a giant empty map any day. Let's talk progression and optimization, because this is where the game might have more depth than people expected. They confirm Spirit Stone, items that grant different effects based on what you do in battle. So depending on how those are designed, you could have builds that reward parries, aggression, status effects, or whatever. You can also find new katanas for Emma and charms for Ku through exploration, each with specialized bonus. So you're just not upgrading a single sword forever, you're building a loadout. And here's a huge detail that I find pretty dope about Ku. Ku can have passive skills, and you unlock more slots as your bond increases. Apparently, you build affection by feeding him and petting him, and eventually you can equip up to 6 passive skills. That's a dope system because it makes the companion feel like a real RPG layer, and it also gives you another way to tune difficulty and playstyle. Combat is the main reason I'm paying attention. Emma is fast katana action in real time, and Ku supports with a command-based system that slows down time when you choose skills. The core mechanic is simple but has a lot of potential. You parry enemy attacks with Emma that earn points, and you spend those points to trigger Ku's abilities. And when you open Ku's command menu, combat slows down, giving you breathing room to assess the battlefield and make a smart choice. Devs said they really prioritize this sense of tempo, not forcing players to rely on split-second action reflexes, but giving you moments to pause, think, and respond. Now, here's my personal hope. I want the parry timing to feel closer to Sekiro, but not in the sense of being brutally punishing, but the sense of feeling crisp and intentional. That tight rhythm where timing matters, and when you nail a parry, it feels like you just took control of the fight. If Beast of Reincarnation captures even a slice of that Sekiro-style timing, timing and feedback, and layers the tactical dog commands on top, that could be a really addictive combat loop and playstyle I think we all would enjoy. Also, the dog abilities have been referred to as bloom arts in some coverage, which sounds like Ku is not just doing damage, but he's bringing the weird blight powers into combat too. They've confirmed 3 difficulty settings: normal, hard, and story mode. Story mode makes parrying timing more forgiving and reduces enemy damage. So if you're here for the story and world but don't want a skill check game, you're not getting locked out. And another big detail, no online elements, just a single player experience. The director basically said the relationship between the person and the animal is so important they kept it single player and focused. I personally like that choice. Not everything needs to be co-op, PvP, or a game as a service. Sometimes you just want a tight single player experience with a clear identity. So here's what has me genuinely excited. Number 1, the parry to command system. If it's tuned well, it turns defense into offense and keeps everything feeling active and tactical. Number 2, the world shifting and the Nushi forest. The idea that dangerous forests can basically erupt in the wasteland is such a cool way to make exploration feel unsafe and unpredictable. Number 3, the mystery and tone that never look up at the skyline is a giant red flag, but in the best possible way. And they also straight up say the story is built around secrets. Emma and Ku have secrets, even allies are carrying secrets. That makes me think we're getting a big twist, not just a simple kill the big boss plot. And for my last thing, the companion bond actually affecting gameplay. Pet the dog, feed the dog, get a stronger dog. That's a pretty dope system on paper. All we need is a tighter implementation to give it a 10 out of 10. Now, if I'm being honest, there still are some big questions that decide if this is a must play or just a cool reveal, or we're waiting on a Steam sale. How deep is the progression really? Is it mostly gear bonuses, or are we getting meaningful ability trees and build paths? How varied are bosses and enemies over the full game? The Nushi concept is cool, but we need to see how many unique threats there are and how they evolve. How does exploration actually work in those district levels? Are there side paths, optional bosses, secrets, different routes, or is it more linear than it looks? And then the big one, how does it feel in your hands? Parry games live and die on feel, timing, sound, impact, and animation readability. If they nail that, this could truly be something special. As of right now, Beast of Reincarnation is officially on my watch list for 2026. If you've had the pleasure of making it this far, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next update. And drop a comment below. Are you here for the combat, the bosses, or the mystery story? And if you're a Sekiro person like me, tell me straight. Do you want that tight parry timing, or do you prefer something more forgiving? I'm Blurbox, just a random dude on the internet. Other than that, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.